All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? I am Is There No One Else, bringing you a quick video. Wanted to discuss the different races for Wrathstone as they currently are. There's a lot out there. They changed them a little bit. They tweaked them. A lot of things changed. And so basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through each race, and I wanted to post a quick video with a build where you would kind of like attempt to min-max that race. And so taking a quick step back, I think in general ESO did a really good job with these racial passives. If you look at them from a PvE perspective, all the DPS classes are more or less balanced. They're all pretty damn close to each other within 1 or 2k, which is awesome. So it allows you to pick whatever race you want to play. As far as PvP, it's not as easy to figure out mathematically which one is best. It's going to come down to your playstyle. It's going to come down to what you like to do, what you want, what you prefer. So we're going to dive into Imperial first, because I think Imperial is a great one to start this discussion, because not a lot of people run Imperial. You don't see too many Imperials out there. First of all, you have to pay for the class or the race. Sorry, I'm gonna say that so many times. I apologize, but you have to pay for the race, and so that restricts a lot of people. And on top of that, Imperial just hasn't been very good. Like, why be Imperial when you can be an Argonian, or you can be literally any other race? Imperial and Nords have been pretty bad. They're pretty good. And so I wanted to quick show you guys a build where I think you could optimize an Imperial if you run it. So with that being said, guys, let's dive into it. Now, these are what the racial passives are. They may be subject to change at the last second, but this is what they currently are for Imperial. Tough, increase your max health by 2,000. Imperial Metal, increase your max stamina by 2,000. Red Diamond. Red Diamond reduces the cost of all of your abilities by 3%, and then when you deal direct damage, you heal yourself for 350 and restore 330 magic and stamina. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds. That little bit of recovery doesn't seem like a whole lot, but for sword and board tanky builds, that little extra sustain will probably be pretty noticeable, in my opinion. It's not a ton, it's like 120 recovery, but it's magicka and stamina recovery. On top of that, reduce cost of all your abilities by 3%. That's what Bretons currently have pre-Wrathstone, and it's very noticeable. Like, if you've ever race changed, if you've gone from like a Dark Elf that has no recovery to a Breton, there's a huge difference in sustain when you wear the same build. And so Imperials are going to be able to just sustain better, and because of that, they're going to be able to run less recovery. So, as you can see, there's no other stamina. I mean, Orc comes close, but there's no other stamina class out there that has this kind of max stats. So if you want to run a character that has a very high stat pool, Imperial is going to be the best choice for stamina. On top of that, what ESO also did is they changed how CP scales your max stats. And so previously they weren't counting 5-piece bonuses. And so what that meant is at a base level, they take whatever your base stam is, and then when you get a certain amount of CP, they times it by 20%. And so it used to count for your 2, 3, and 4-piece bonuses, but they weren't counting your 5-piece. So those really sexy armor 5-piece sets, like Hulking Draugr, like Necropotence, those sets that give you so much of those max stats, it wasn't taking into account, you weren't getting the 20% off of that. So this next patch, everybody's getting kind of a blanket buff in their stat pools. And so everybody's going to get bumped up a little bit. And so that means that an Imperial running with this 2,000 stamina and health plus max stat sets, they can make a very pretty character sheet that's also very effective. So with that being said, let's dive into what I just kind of threw together and wanted to show you guys. So we're running 1-piece Domi House, because it's max stamina, max magicka. We're going for as much max stats as possible. We have 1-piece Selene on the helmet. Ideally, we would want this Stonekeeper that gives us the magicka, stamina, and health if we wanted to go with all the stats, but we can't get that currently because it's not in here yet, so we'll just run the Selene just for an idea. 5-piece Trainee. The reason we're running Trainee and not Shacklebreaker is because it just has max stats. I wanted to see what it looked like. Most people are going to run Shacklebreaker instead, but I wanted to see what everything would look like. So that's why I threw Trainee on. There's not a huge difference between the two, to be honest, but Yeah, Shackle Breaker will be the easier crafted thing. 5 heavy, Impen Trainee. And then we're running Hulking Draugr because obviously max stam, max stam, max stam. 2 weapon damage, 1 reduced cost, all robust for more max stats. You could run these in Triune if you wanted. 2-piece Hulking Draugr on the front bar, Hulking Draugr on the back bar. And I'm running Lavafoot Soup and Salt Trees because it gives us some sustain with our max stamina. Now, when we look at this, I have no max health food. I have no tri-stat enchants. It's all max stam enchants. It's just 5/1/1. Imperial next patch with 810 CP is running almost 25k health in PvP with nothing else. 25k health. And so what that means is it means you can stack in everything else. So I'm not running any max magicka either, no tri-stats. I have 15,000 magicka on an Imperial. And so when you take into account Red Diamond plus the reduced cost plus the Constitution passive of running heavy, our sustain on our off stat pool is going to be fantastic on an Imperial, especially on a DK running wings for, you know, wanting to move around. It's going to be very handy. And then on top of that, we have almost 51,000 stamina as an Imperial. This is max stamina everything, but we just get a stack into it. And so you see I'm running the Tower Mundus as well. Like I said, 810 CP. This is in Cyrodiil with the new rules. Max stam, everything. And yeah, 25k health, 51,000 stamina, 15k magicka. Now, for those of you guys that play Stam DK, 1100 stamina recovery isn't bad. It's really not. It's pretty easy to sustain, you know, with 1,000 to 1,500. Like, I think I normally run 1,500 on my Stam DK because I like to dodge roll a little bit more and everything. With the reduced cost, I think this is going to be more than good enough to recover, especially since we're on a heavy armor. We'll be able to sustain quite a bit. Now, obviously, this isn't like min-maxed or anything. I just wanted to show you guys what kind of build exists out there with max stats. You know, obviously, like as a DK, you'd probably run Bloodspawn. I mean, let's be honest, Bloodspawn is just better than running 2 of these. But, you know, a lot of people like the pretty character sheets, and Imperial is going to be really good at making pretty character sheets while also still just packing some punch. So if you look here, 20,000 take flight. Yeah, we're going to kill something. So 15,000 claw. Yeah, it just... There's not much else to say. You know, like Imperial is going to be really good for builds that want to have a little bit more bulk for their survivability, and they want to also have that sustain. You know, there's going to be other races that are better for damage. There's going to be other races that are better for movement speed. There's going to be other races that are better for sustain. But bang for your buck, like for a Stam DK, Imperial's up there. You know, I know a lot of people are looking at Nord. I know people are still going to look at Redguard, you know, all these. But Imperial has its place. And so I just wanted to show this to you guys. I will post other builds for other races as well. But I wanted to get discussing this one first. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I missed something. You know, obviously, like I said, you know, Trainee isn't what people are going to run. They'll probably run Shackle. Hell, we can even just throw that together really quickly for you guys so you can kind of see what it looks like. Just make it epic. All right, make sure it's heavy. Throw it on. Now we may need to actually run a few prismatics since we're not running Trainee anymore. Yeah, we'll have to run a few prismatics because as you can see, or hell, we can just switch over to Dubious really quickly. Whatever. So, as you can see, Shackle Breaker, max stam and everything. Very similar stats, very similar recovery. Our weapon damage jumps up just a little bit. Our damage actually went down a little bit. That's really interesting. I wasn't expecting that. I guess it makes sense because that might be a whole nother video, but as you guys can see, we did have 20,000 take flights. We dropped just a very small amount to 19,956. So our previous preconceived notions that certain sets were better than other ones, now with this new max stat change, could change quite a bit. Because at one point, I did the math on it. Sorry, this is another tangent. I just wanted to get it out there for you guys really quickly. I did some math on Bone Pirates and Hulking Draugr back in the day, and I found out basically that if you were running more than one recovery enchant, you were better off running Bone Pirates because it was just going to give more. Hulking Draugr was only better than Bone Pirates when you were running all weapon damage enchants across everything. And so that's why Draugr was better. We may have to change that. Draugr might just be better than Bone Pirates now because of this, how this max stats scale. I'm going to have to go back and look at builds and everything and like do some more work. But yeah, I mean, I mean, you guys just saw like it changed noticeably. We lost some max stam. We didn't gain a whole lot of weapon damage. Our damage is very close, but it's not. It's just a little bit lower. So maybe instead of running Shackle Breaker, Trainee might be better. Interesting. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.